Hello everyone, 5 Minute Trader here today. On this channel, we spend just 5 minutes a day, most days. Have not been getting every day recently, but hey, that's part of it, as these are short or midterm trades that aren't designed to stress me out. That's the reason why we do it. So if you like the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll get these delivered every time. But really what I'm just trying to do is look for some puts or call spreads to sell every day so that I can kind of manage a portfolio of positions that makes money no matter what the market's doing. So here I am in Tasty Trade. You can sign up for a Tasty Trade using the link in the description. It's a really great way to help out the channel. But let's start by looking at my ETF watch list. It's been a few days since I've been in, so I might run through all the underlyings today just to see if there's anything to be done since last time I was here. I think it's been like 3 or 4 days, something like that. So I've sorted by percentage change, but I'm going to go back on that. I'm going to sort by alphabetic, and we'll just see by alphabetic, by letter alphabetically. I don't know what the right word is there, but anyway, I've just sorted it by the first letter. So let's just take a quick look. So markets, let's see, we got DIA, IWM, SPY and QQQ are all the market indexes that I have in my ETF watch list, and we can see that like they've been down, now they're kind of clawing their way back up. So probably not much to do in the markets because they're not down or up enough to do much. And it looks like their IV ranks have come down quite a bit too. Something I should have, I just realized this in my watch list, is the VIX. The VIX will tell us if will tell us kind of what volatility is doing. So here's we can kind of see, spikes in volatility. When volatility is up, that's a good time to sell options in general. It doesn't mean that you can't have volatility like the VIX down, but certain symbols or underlyings have high volatility. That can of course happen, but this is sort of generally giving us market volatility, and it can be a way to make decisions on when it's good to sell options. So I'm going to add the VIX in, and I'll watch the VIX from here on out. So EEM, that's the emerging markets. That's also kind of in a little bit of a range. Probably not much to do there. EWZ, Brazil, same deal, kind of in a range. FXC, that's the euro. That's kind of being a little bit wonky, but coming down towards the bottom of a range. Not much to do there. The metals are up at a high. So let's see, that's GDX, GDXJ, and where's SLV? SLV. They're all up at a high, so it could be a call spread scenario there, but I do have some call spreads in GDX already. So I'm going to come back to that one, take a look. GLD is the same way. IYR, that's the real estate. That's like really been hitting in a range. That could be something interesting there. Like, I'm going to look at see if we could do like a jade lizard or something like that in there in a minute. And then let's see, the bonds, TLT is coming down. And then, oh, look at natural gas, UNG finally starting to come down from its high. And then USO is heading up there too. So I'm going to take a peek at IYR and see, do I have any positions in IYR? I've got one position in IYR. I've got the 91 put in IYR, which is doing really well. Let's see if we could, it's kind of, I don't usually like ladder into like a jade lizard, but like what can we get for a call spread? So 30, so one of the things to look at first is a look at the skew. So like how much are the calls paying versus the puts? Typically puts pay more than calls, and not always that way, but that's kind of typically where we're at. So the 28 delta call is right at, I just realized I need to move my screen there. The 28 delta call is at 64 cents. And the 29 delta put is at 77. So there's not a ton of put skew. Maybe I could do, what if I were to do like a dollar wide jade lizard? So let's see, 97 to 98. So what you're trying to do with a jade lizard is make the amount of money that you're collecting greater than or equal to the width of the call spread. So a jade lizard is where you're selling a put and you're selling a call spread as well. So it's sort of like a sister to an iron condor, where you're doing like in an iron condor, I'd get a spread either side of the current market price. So I would have something like this. Like this would be an iron condor. Look at how much you can collect here. So on the iron condor, I collect 54 cents. If I delete this particular call, oops. I just want to delete that one call. There we go. I'm going to delete that leg. Look, I more than double the amount of money that I'm collecting. Now I'm also exposing myself to risk to the downside, right? If the real estate market companies like went through a major crash, I'm exposed to that risk, where with a iron condor I'm not. It's fixed. But at the same time, like, you're collecting that much more, so you got a lot more flexibility, right, in what you're doing. So what this ultimately would mean is I've got a break even, right around $92, and my break even's more because I'm collecting more money because I'm on this call spread. But the upside to the Jade Lizard is the price of the underlying, if it flies up, if it skyrockets, you don't lose any money, because if you look, there's no break even on the upside. Like, it's green all the way. And the reason for that is you're collecting more money than the width of the spread. So it's a really interesting, like, multi-leg trade that has some more flexibility. Like, if it really goes down, what happens is you make money on your call spread and then you start rolling out your put. It's a very flexible trade. Just keeping in mind, you're going to pay a little bit more in commissions because there's more legs to it. But anyway, so my break even would be 92, which is here. It's below a recent low. I would be more comfortable if it were down here, right? So I think I'm going to leave that one for today, but it's just an interesting thought experiment in like what a Jade Lizard is in general. So I'll keep an eye on IYR and see what's going on there. So I'm not going to do anything today. Another day, no trades, which is a bummer. Let's just take a look at how I'm doing in general. So I got 2 positions in GDXJ, which is, they're way out of the money. The 46, which is currently, let me clear this out. The 46 is currently at 39. That's a 46, 39. And notice here the markets are starting to get really wide, and that's just because this particular put is way out of the money. So that's a good thing, that's really like a winning trade. So the 46, the 45 is the same, 37. So like these amounts I'm putting in, they're not particularly reflective of where really it's at, because these are just not being traded that much. So I'm essentially like, this is a one trade at this point, but I'm just going to sit and let it ride. We've got 22 days left, which is a while. So we'll see if some liquidity comes to those strikes. Maybe I'll come in and close them out. Let's take a look at the emerging markets, EEM. I've got the 41.50 there. That's also doing great. That's at $10. If that gets down to 5 anytime soon, I'm going to close that out. IWM has been my problem child for a while, but looking at what's been happening recently, that's unlikely to be an issue anymore. So I've got the 203 and the 194. So the 203 is currently at 227. So there's a big turnaround there. And the 194 is way up here at 73. So awesome. Came back my way on that one. USO is, where's USO at? So, whoa, USO is way out of the money again. So I've got the 67 and the 68. The 68 is at 20. And oops, I put 2. I'm not going to cheat. 20. And the 67 is at 16. And then IYR, we're just in there a second ago. Let me clear out. I guess I already did clear out that Jade Lizard, so we're good there. I've got the 91 put, which is way up here. Pretty far out of the money at 41. And then I've got those 2 call spreads in GDX. The 46.51, which is 94. So that's not moved. That's kind of interesting. That's not moved at all. And the 44.49, which is, the 44.49. Did I really go? Yeah, $5 wide. Did I do wrong on that last one? 46. The 46.51 is at 94. Okay, yeah, I kind of getting myself confused there. And then the 44.49, the $5 widespread, has not really moved either. That's at 182. So those are kind of bummer, slow burners. And the issue there is that GDX is like sitting like right between the strikes. So I'm not at my break even yet. But where's that 44.49? No, I just did that. The 46.51. Sorry, 46.51 is that one's out of the money, but it's just got enough juice left in it, enough days, I guess, that it's not reduced in price yet. So those are kind of annoying. I'm bummed out by those, but that's okay. Where are we at overall? Overall, we're up 886. So we're doing great overall. Happy with that. And a lot of that is because of that turnaround in IWM, right? And I never hit my break even on IWM, even those days when it was down. So we'll see. We're getting to a point here where some of these positions are going to start to come off. So I'll start to feel comfortable putting a few more on, but we're kind of riding a little bit right now. I'm not willing to risk any more capital. And I've just not seen a lot of trades in the last few days either. So, hey, but appreciate watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. See ya.